Hello and welcome to the Integrity Sports Podcast, powered by Harper's Tree and Stump Removal. If you have any tree trimming, tree removal, or stump removal needs, our friends at Harper's Tree and Stump Removal have you covered. They can haul rock and sand, they can do driveway work, and can now do horizontal grinding of large wood debris piles. Give our friend Keith a call at 229-314-2048. or at 229-938-2412. Harper's Tree and Stump Removal. They're proud to be the premier sponsor of the Integrity Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Integrity Sports Podcast, covering local sports in the Southwest Georgia area, creating content that is factual, positive, and informative, promoting efforts by athletes, coaches, and sports administrators. Now, here's your host, Tim Estes.
Hey, thank you, Thurston, and hello to all of you. Welcome to the Integrity Sports Podcast, and thank you for making it a part of your weekly routine. We are now on 9 different social media platforms, and we need your help with something this week. Please go to our YouTube page. No matter what platform you're watching this on today, go to our YouTube page. Type in Integrity Sports Podcast, and when our page comes up, simply hit the subscribe button. We are making an attempt to get to 1,000 subscribers, and if we do so, we can take this podcast to the next level. So help us to get there. We roughly have 2,000 viewers that watch this each week. If half of you will go on to our YouTube page and hit subscribe, it doesn't cost you anything. I promise you we won't load you up with notifications, but we've got to get to that 1,000 mark to get to the next level that we want to get to. So help us out with that this week. If you're watching on any other platform today, make sure and hit the like button and share it with your friends. Let's get the word out. And we're going to try something a little different today. Rather than having a guest on the show with us, we're going to go through a brief rundown of the 3 area high schools in the greater Americus area. That'll be Sumter County High, Southland Academy, and Schley County High School. And we'll talk a little bit about where their boys and girls basketball programs are at right now. We'll also take a look at South Georgia Technical College, the Lady Jets and Jets, as well as Georgia Southwestern State University. So a lot of good basketball being played here in the greater Americus area at this time of year. Let's start with Sumter County High. Coach Johnny Jenwright and the Panthers are off to a 6-14 start overall. They are 4-4 in Region 1, and that's in Class AA. They've got 2 big games coming up this weekend. Friday night, the Panthers host Macon County in a non-region contest. And then on Saturday, they'll travel down to Nashville, Georgia to take on the Berrien County Rebels. And that is a 1AA region matchup. So we wish the best to the Sumter County Panthers. When you look at the Sumter County region, Region 1AA, on the men's side, here's how it looks right now. Dodge County leads the region. They're at 7-1. Worth County and Fitzgerald both stand at 5-2. Cook High and Sumter County both are notched at 4-4 in region play. And then you have Jeff Davis at 2-6 and Berrien County in the cellar at 0-8. So a big region matchup for the Panthers at Berrien County. They can get over the 500 mark with a win, so let's wish them the best of luck. On the girls' side at Sumter County, Coach Sherry Harris and the Lady Panthers are currently 13-7 overall, but they are also 7-1 in Region 1 AA play. Just like the boys, they'll play host to Macon County on Friday and then travel down to Berrien County on Saturday. When you look at the women's side of Region 1 AA, it looks a little different. There are 3 solid teams, Sumter County and Dodge County, both tied at 7-1 in the region, and then Fitzgerald's at 5-2. All 3 of those teams have proven so far that they are at the top of the region standings. Beyond those teams, you've got Worth County at 3-4. Cook High at 3-5, Jeff Davis and Berrien County, they hold down the cellar. Both of those teams are 1-7. So as we summarize the Lady Panthers and the Panthers, the men, they need to have a strong second half to make a statement to get in the playoffs. The women, they've done really well. They need to continue their winning ways to lock up one of those top 2 spots in the region as they'll head into playoff time. So if you're a Panther fan, get out and support these teams. Tomorrow night, they'll play at the Panther Pit on the campus of Sumter County High School. That's right there off South Georgia Tech Parkway. Really, really nice facility. They've got plenty of seating for you. Get out and support Coach Sherry Harris and Coach Johnny Jenwright and those Panthers. Let's see if we can help them get a win. One of the folks that sponsors us is also a big Panther fan. That's Marty McDonald. He's with the Marty McDonald State Farm Insurance Agency. They are located at 925 Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard in Americus. You can reach Marty at 928-3686, or you can find them on Facebook. Maybe even better, drop by and see Marty, Mary Lynn, or any of their fine staff and let them perform the discount double check. They can make sure you're receiving all of the savings that are available to you. Thanks again to Marty McDonald State Farm Insurance for sponsoring this segment of the Integrity Sports Podcast. And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. So we've looked at Sumter County High. Let's turn our attention now over to the Lady Raiders and Raiders at Southland Academy. They compete in the GIAA District 3 division. The Lady Raiders of Coach Chip Champion are currently 6-14 overall. They are 2-6 in District 3 play. They'll have a district matchup on Friday against Brookwood. That game's going to be played at Southland Academy in the Melvin T. Kinslow Gymnasium. So get out and support the Lady Raiders there. When these two teams matched up earlier in the year down in Thomasville, the Lady Raiders dropped that game 45-32. So hopefully the Lady Raiders can return that favor as Brookwood comes to Americus. As we look at the district standings on the women's side, Deerfield Windsor from down in Albany is on top at 7-0. The Lady Eagles of Terrell Academy are 6-2. They stand in second place. Tift Area Academy at 5-3 is in third place. Brookwood, the team coming here this week, is at 3-5. Southland Academy, they're at 2-6. And then Valwood is at 0-7. On Saturday evening, the Lady Raiders will travel over to Columbus for a non-district matchup. That'll be against Calvary Christian. So good luck to the Lady Raiders. On the men's side, Coach Kevin Douglas and the Raiders are currently 8-9 overall. They are 3-4 in district play. They, too, will take on Brookwood out of Thomasville on Friday. And that's a big district matchup as Brookwood currently leads the district on the men's side. They're 8-0 in the district. And the district looks very balanced once you get past Brookwood. Deerfield currently sits at 4-3. Valwood and Southland are both at 3-4. Tift Area Academy at 3-5. And maybe a little surprising is Terrell Academy, who's currently at 1-6. So get out and support the Lady Raiders and Raiders as they take on Brookwood School on the campus of Southland Academy this weekend. One of the people that most certainly will be there is one of our sponsors. That's Will Peterson with One Digital Solutions. One Digital is a steward of business growth and personal development. They provide things like insurance, financial planning, and HR platforms that provide you with a personalized, tech-enabled solution for your business. One Digital resolves real problems for your business and your employees. They do that by fusing together customized solutions that address things like employee benefits, HR, and financial services. It's really everything all in one. It's One Digital. Contact Will Peterson. His number is 229-347-6955. 6289. Again, that number, 229-347-6289. One Digital, proud to be a premier sponsor of the Integrity Sports Podcast. So we've hit Sumter County. We've hit Southland Academy. Now we move on to Schley County. They're about 10 or 12 miles up the road. The Wildcats and Lady Wildcats have both experienced kind of a roller coaster type of season. Coach Brent Moore's Lady Cats are currently 12-9 overall. They're 7-7 in Region 6. Of course, that's in Class A, Division II of the Georgia High School Association. They have a big weekend of games coming up with two big region contests this week. On Friday, February the 2nd, the Lady Cats will be at Greenville. Tip-off time is at 6 o'clock. And then on Saturday, they'll play host to their rivals, Marion County. As you look at the region standings on the women's side here in Region 6, Class 1A, Division II, here's how that looks for Coach Brent Moore and his Lady Cats. Taylor County currently at the top of that region at 14-1. Macon County and Chatco are at 12-4. Manchester at 9-5. And Schley County at 7-7. Then when you get below Schley County, you've got Marion County at 5-9, Central of Talbotton at 2-9, and Webster County at 0-14. So good luck to Brent Moore and the Lady Wildcats this weekend. On the men's side, first-year head coach Roderick Martin's Wildcats come into the weekend at 9-9 overall. They're 6-8 in region play. And they, too, will be at Greenville on Friday and will host Marion County on Saturday. Their region standings, they're led by Macon County, who's having one of the best seasons in recent memory. They are at 15-1 in the region. Manchester's at 12-2. Chatco and Taylor County both currently have 6 losses. And then you go down to Schley County. Schley County's at 6-8, so they're right there in the middle of the pack. Marion County's at 5-9, Central of Talbotton's at 4-7, Greenville at 2-10, and Webster County at 0-13. So both the Cats and the Lady Cats need to get 2 region wins this weekend, and that will help pull their record to at 500 or maybe one above 500, and it'll start making a statement about their validity into the playoffs in Region 6, Class A. That does it for high school basketball in the greater Americus area. Now let's turn our attention toward the collegiate level at South Georgia Tech. That's a junior college. They compete in the GCAA conference, and South Georgia Tech's Jets and Lady Jets both having pretty good seasons so far. First-year head coach Jason Carpenter with the Lady Jets, he's 13-9 overall, 6-4 in the GCAA. The Lady Jets had a big 91-64 win over Andrew College this past Wednesday. That was down in Cuthbert. They'll travel up to Rome, Georgia this weekend to take on Georgia Highlands College. As you may know, South Georgia Tech, they are accustomed to being atop the standings in women's basketball. So far this year, they haven't made their way up to the top yet. This season still got about half of it left to go. But East Georgia College is currently undefeated. They're 7-0, and they lead the GCAA. They're followed by Albany Tech. The Titans are 6-2. Central Georgia Tech is at 6-3. And then you have South Georgia Tech sitting in 4th at 6-4. They're followed by Georgia Highlands at 2-5. Andrew College at 2-7, and Southern Crescent Technical College is currently winless at 0-7. Flipping over to the men's side for the South Georgia Technical College Jets of Coach Chris Ballauer. They have an overall record right now of 11-7, but they do sit in second place in the GCAA. They've got a record of 5-1 in conference play. That's 1/2 game behind South Georgia State College from down in Douglas, Georgia. Georgia Highlands men, they're also 5-1. Albany Tech's Titans are 5-2. Central Georgia Tech from over in the Macon Warner Robins area, they're 3-3. East Georgia's at 2-4. Gordon College is at 1-4, and then Andrew College and Southern Crescent Technical College are both winless. The Jets had a big win Wednesday night as well. They defeated Andrew College 76-47 on Wednesday. They too will travel up to Rome this weekend to take on Georgia Highland. So good luck to Coach Chris Ballauer and the men, as well as Coach Jason Carpenter and the Lady Jets of South Georgia Technical College. Now we move across town to Georgia Southwestern State University. Coach Hannah Hayden's GSW Lady Hurricanes are having another banner year. They are currently ranked number 13 in the country with an overall record of 15-2. They are atop the Peach Belt Conference standings with a record of 8-1 in the conference, but Lander University is knocking on the door with a 7-2 record, along with Augusta University. Columbus State is at 6-3. North Georgia's at 5-4. And then you've got Flagler, Clayton State, and Georgia College all locked in the middle with 3 wins. USC Beaufort, as well as USC Aiken. They're at the bottom of the Peach Belt Conference standings on the women's side. The Lady Canes will host Lander University. That tip-off is at 5:30 on Saturday in the Storm Dome. Get out and support Coach Hannah Hayden and her staff and those young ladies at Georgia Southwestern State University. Coach Aaron Coombs and the GSW men currently have a record of 13 wins and 6 losses overall. They are in 5th place right now in the Peach Belt Conference with a conference record of 5-4. On the men's side, the Peach Belt is once again very strong. The top 4 teams are North Georgia at 8-1, Lander at 7-2, USC Aiken and Flagler both sit at 6-3. And then you've got GSW, and below them are USC Beaufort, Columbus State, and Augusta, all at 3-6. Georgia College, as well as Clayton State, are at 2-7. And the Canes will tip off at 7:30 in the Storm Dome on Saturday. So the men tip it off at 7:30. Get there a couple of hours earlier at 5:30 and see Coach Hannah Hayden and the Lady Canes, the number 13 ranked team in the country. We lost Justin Payne, who really helped put the women's program in the limelight last year, and congratulations to Coach Payne as he secured that Division I job and is doing really well. I talked to him last week. But Hannah Hayden, congratulations. You've come in and not only kept this program competitive, but elevated it even more. And so we look forward to following you guys in the playoffs. Again, we want to thank you for making the Integrity Sports Podcast a part of your weekly routine. Let me again ask you, please go to our YouTube page and hit the subscribe button. You don't ever have to watch us on YouTube, but log on to YouTube, go to Integrity Sports Podcast, and once you get to our page, just hit the subscribe button. It's free. We're not going to send you a bunch of notifications, but it'll help us reach a new level. If you're watching on Facebook, on X, on Instagram, or LinkedIn, any of our other social media platforms, please hit the like button and share it with your friends. We appreciate you watching today. Look forward to being with you next week. We've got a very special guest next week as we'll talk to Gunnar Watson. Gunnar was the quarterback at Troy University and is scheduled to be in the NFL draft that's upcoming. And we'll talk to Gunnar about his days growing up in Southwest Georgia, as his hometown is right up the road in Taylor County in Butler, Georgia. We'll talk about his days growing up. We'll talk a little about his career, which was phenomenal over at Troy University, and then what he hopes in the upcoming NFL draft. So we hope you'll be with us then. Thanks again for joining us. I'm your host, Tim Estes. Thanks for watching. So long, everyone.